Been cleaning. Whew, it's the middle of the day. Let's open some cards. No plan, just cards. Empty head, empty thoughts, just cards. Alright, maybe I'll just do what I did last time and just see if I can summon to mind a little story about the character. A little often overlooked element of the character. Let's go. Here's Neji. I have a series of cards of Neji in rare where he starts out, if you put them in the sequence that I put them in, he starts out looking happy, and then he gradually looks more and more perturbed and annoyed until finally there's a card of him looking quite angry. So this is like the midway point. I feel like the sequence of cards would be like, maybe Neji's like approached by a fan, a Neji fan, and then, you know, everything's going well, and then they start talking about his stick death, and then he gets more and more perturbed as time passes. He's got this nice white robe. It's done up in the front, overlapping the shoulder like that, which is nice. I'm sure that exists somewhere in the world. I don't know if it is Japanese specifically, or if it's just like a design that a lot of places have. I've always thought it was pretty cool, though. It might be a design typical of like monk robes. I'm not really sure. I remember seeing a robe in a Tibetan themed store in New Orleans, maybe, where they had shirts that did up in this fashion. And I don't know what that says about anything, but we all know that Neji's a cool guy. Curiously, not friends with Tenten. Tenten is not listed on the back of this card. Just Hinata, Rock Lee, and Naruto. So who's Tenten friends with then? I wonder. Maybe if we pull her, we can find out. Konohamaru, you know, boo, not very interesting. I guess he masters the Rasengan without shadow clones. That's kind of cool. Does Naruto ever learn to Rasengan without a clone? Is he just permanently sort of deficient at the Rasengan, hilariously enough, because it's his main jutsu, but he can't actually ever do one properly? Because the technique was originally designed by his dad, Minato, and he does it with one hand. You're supposed to spiral chakra and shape it into a round shape, I guess, and those simultaneous things allow for the Rasengan to form. So Konohamaru can do that. Naruto, I don't think, ever does that without the help of clones. Maybe that's just how his brain works. Hey, I mean, you know, you gotta account for different learning styles, right? So I guess that's fair. Curious that Minato never was able to imbue elemental energy into the Rasengan, because, I mean, this could just be ridiculous war arc power scaling, but when Minato appears as a zombie in the war arc, I don't know if it's made clear yet at that point, I think it has been, Minato sealed half of the Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra inside of him, and then he sealed himself with the Death Seal. He sealed the other half into Naruto. So when Minato comes back, for some reason he has half of the Nine-Tailed Fox with him. Now, you might be thinking like, oh, well, he sealed it into him, of course he would come back. He was brought back as a zombie, though. Like, his soul is in the zombie, taken out of the pure realm or whatever by Orochimaru with the ridiculous mask bullshit. But, like, does that mean the Nine-Tailed Fox is... Basically, is it an Edo Tensei? Is it a zombie Nine-Tailed Fox, or is it the real Nine-Tailed Fox? Because the real Nine-Tailed Fox would have been sealed in Minato's body, which died, and this is a recreation of his body. I guess with some of his DNA. I assume Orochimaru has some of his DNA for some reason. But it, like, can you bring a tailed beast back to life with Edo Tensei? That doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't make sense that it's the real one or that it's a zombie one. Because tailed beasts don't die, right? Obito brings back the Jinchuriki, right? He brings all the people back who had tailed beasts sealed in them. But he puts the real tailed beasts into them so they can fight Naruto and Bee. This is Obito the Masked Man with the spiral mask, posing as Madara. He revives the Jinchuriki. Well, he doesn't. I guess Kabuto does, but he's in control of them. He's got the Jinchuriki. They're zombies. They're Edo Tensei. And he puts the tailed beasts into them through the 10-tailed statue. And then they sort of fight against Naruto as though they are Jinchurikis, as though they're alive with all their abilities. But Minato just kind of got pulled out of the realm of the dead with his beast still in him. Now, the reason that doesn't make sense, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's some feature of the death seal, the Reaper death seal. Maybe it is. It's not like he's just dead. It's like he's sealed in a different place. I don't know. But when a tailed beast's host dies, they coalesce back into chakra and nature, and after a set period of time, they will reappear. But I guess sealing them with the death seal is weird. I just don't understand why the nine-tailed fox comes back through Edo Tensei. That doesn't really make sense to me. Okay, the point I wanted to make is when Minato comes back, he immediately figures out, like Naruto had to go to an island to train with Bee to figure out how to do the chakra cloak, and then figure out how to tap the Nine-Tails chakra, and then figure out how to be friends with the Nine-Tails and like feed it his chakra so it mellows out, and then he gets like the cool flamey cape. And Minato does the highest level of this like instantly. Like he's summoned back as a zombie, and he instantly figures out how to do the highest level of the QB Nine-Tails chakra cloak thing that Naruto had to train a bunch to figure out. And it's impossible that Minato knows how to do this, because when he sealed the fox inside of himself, he died almost immediately after that moment, so it's not like he had any time to train being a Jinchuriki. It's just like when he comes back as a zombie, he sort of just like instantly figures it out, which is pretty, I mean, it's silly. It's ridiculous, silly power scaling, and that's dumb. And sort of as a retcon then, it doesn't really make sense that he couldn't figure out the element Rasengan thing, because he's apparently just an instant fucking genius. And you know, we like Minato, but the war arc does get a little silly in places. Here's Sakura. After her proposed by me headcanon training with Rock Lee, I feel like Sakura would be great as a taijutsu specialist among Sasuke and Naruto. She would have the speed of Rock Lee. Her big, powerful punches would be something she could deliver with accuracy and speed, and so she wouldn't just have strong punches. She could have, she could be a precise fighter, you know, doing crazy cool dodges, fast dodges, getting up in front of people, and, you know, really take her taijutsu to the next level. I think that's what she needed. I think that's what would have made her cool, and it's what would have included Lee more. You know, even as a little funny, I would just love to see them be friends. I think that would be really funny, and it would be really heartwarming, and I would like for Sakura to, I guess, like, give Lee some romantic advice, you know, because Lee has a little crush on Sakura, but that could develop into a friendship, you know, and maybe Sakura would be like, hey, listen, if you're trying to, I guess, approach women, or if you're trying to get a girlfriend or whatever, like here's some funny, they could have some funny little sort of gag scenes where Sakura, you know, does his hair or whatever, and she gives him some womanly advice, you know, just as a funny little gag scene. I think it would be a funny concept that could reoccur as their training and sort of friendship develops. And I mean, I guess that would be what Sakura would be offering Lee. He doesn't really need anything from Sakura. Like, I'm sure he would just be happy to train with her and hang out with her because he likes her anyways. And they could, you know, form a mutually respectful friendship. Cool. That would be great. No! God damn it, no! Oh, what the fuck? The reverse rainbow? We now have Sarada as a rainbow and a reverse rainbow. And the card is really cool looking. It looks amazing. This whole thing going on over here, these little reverse rainbow flowers, it's fucking awesome. It would be better with any other character. The only problem is that it's a Boruto character. This is a travesty. This is a shame. This is a problem. This is a tragedy. I don't know what to think. I feel like I've kind of lost 2 SLR cards now to the Boruto box. It's very tragic. I don't have that many more packs left. Look at that. Look at that Konoha Leaf rainbow. Exquisite rainbow shuriken. Just looks great. Just looks great. These are probably reverse rainbows. I feel like they're my favorite card type. SLR and reverse rainbow. What's cooler than SLR and reverse rainbow? Like ARs, Akatsuki rares are great. They got the red and the gold. That's cool. SPs are nice. The backgrounds with the like heavenly halo around the character are cool. What else? I mean, misters are great, but like SLR reverse rainbow is just like so fucking cool. I feel like the black makes all the rainbow colors really pop, you know? It's a great looking card. The very front of my deck is Itachi reverse rainbow SLR. It's I think my favorite card that I have. Well, Sarada can be the leader of the Boruto deck. I feel like maybe that's a concept I could get into. Like deck leaders, they're split between different boxes, and each deck has like the card that I like the most of its type in the front. Like there's like a really rare deck, there's like a side character deck that I have, there's like a main character side character deck, there's the Naruto Sasuke Sakura museum deck, there's the Boruto deck, there's UR and HR has its own deck, just for purposes of space conservation. Well, Sarada, I can't say that I'm happy to see you, but I have no more thoughts. Here's Rock Lee in HR. Speak of the Lee. We were just talking about this guy. There he is, with wind whipping around and around him. How many gates can this guy open? 6? 7? 6? Probably 6. I think Daigo Knight just had a rewrite where he introduced the idea that like Lee has his own gate moves, like Might Guy has the Morning Peacock and the Evening Tiger and things like that. But those are just like moves that Guy has invented that are particular to him. They aren't like the move when you open the gate you can do the Morning Peacock or whatever. It's just like Might Guy specific. So he came up with the idea that Lee would have his own abilities for each gate that he opens, or for the later ones. I guess Might Guy doesn't use his big techniques until like the 6th gate. I think at 6 he uses Morning Peacock. At 7, like Afternoon Tiger or something. They all have kind of cool names like that. Apparently they're not made out of chakra, even though they're a huge energy animal that he shoots out of his fist. But anyway, maybe after the 5th gate. Well, Lee has the reverse lotus. I guess that's his 5th gate technique. It's not quite as flashy as like the Morning Peacock. He doesn't shoot energy out of his hands, but I guess that is his technique. And like the normal lotus would be the technique for the 3rd gate or something like that. So that's cool. All right. Well, I'm going to get back to cleaning. Have a good day.